Well, from a very early age, my father had encouraged me to always think about starting my own company. And he had waited longer than he wanted to start his own company and encouraged me not to make that same mistake. So having my own company was always an objective and ambition of mine. As far as college is concerned, I studied civil engineering and followed that with an MBA, which I think was excellent preparation for the career that I chose and for building the company that I have built over the years.
Preston was a very good friend, a guy that I respected, and a guy for me who's done so much. He deserved a start, and I had lots of confidence in him. What he exhibited to me is he knows what he's doing, and this is a project that we had all gone to look at some. It was an apartment project on the beach. So he took the job, did a good job. Very difficult situation, I might. His leadership skills are demonstrated by the fact that he started Haskell Company from the beginning, and look where it is now. And that's a tough job. So many small businesses fail for lack of either leadership or money, and he overcame the money issue, and he was the leader, and he's a leader now, and he's been active in this community and done things that this city is better for because he's been in the city. Yeah.
From the very outset of founding the company, I always had an ambition that it would grow into a major organization that would give meaningful careers to many, many people and would contribute to the built environment, and that we would be able to make a substantial difference in terms of quality and economy, speed of construction, and value creation for our clients. And those objectives have continued to hold true today. Well, I worked for another company in Jacksonville before starting the Haskell Company. And in those 3 years, I was exposed to a wide variety of projects. I think I completed most of them quite successfully. And when the opportunity arose to start my own company, I jumped at it. I had been in Jacksonville for about 3 years before starting my own company, and during those 3 years had developed both a personal and business relationship with my great friend, Jim Winston. And we had looked at apartment projects, multifamily residential projects throughout the southeastern U.S. And Jim had a project at Atlantic Beach, which he wanted very much for me to build. And he suggested, when I told him that I was thinking about starting my own company, he suggested that my first project be his Atlantic Beach residential apartment project. Well, when I was in my second year at Harvard Business School and contemplating where I wanted to go to work, I considered several southeastern cities, including Birmingham, Charlotte, Richmond, Atlanta, Jacksonville. Jacksonville appealed to me because of its environment, the climate, the access to the ocean and river, the quality of life in the community, and also I had a very good job offer. In fact, it was the highest starting salary of any of the offers that I had. I had a number of people who were meaningful to me in the early stages of my company's development. Jim Winston, of course, was probably the most influential. Paul Fletcher was also extremely influential to me. My banker at the time, Bill Woods of the Barnett Bank, gave financial support when I needed it. and was unflagging in his support even when we had financial difficulty. So there were a number of people that made a big difference in my early career, and I'm grateful to all of them. Well, I always thought it would be successful. I never harbored any doubts that I wouldn't be successful, which may have been a little bit naive on my part, but nonetheless I was an optimist from the very beginning, gave it all that I could, and kept a positive mental attitude as to success. There were a very few times when I was a bit discouraged, but none ever discouraged me to the point that I felt I was not going to succeed. So there were the normal ups and downs of starting a business, and there have been ups and downs since then. But all of them I tried to address in a positive and successful manner. I have always thought that my higher education was absolutely ideal for the career that I envisioned. I wouldn't change a single hour of my post-secondary education. The combination of a civil engineering degree in a liberal arts university, plus my business administration degree, and the opportunity to take courses at MIT while I was also completing my MBA. All of these were very positive, and I have used that background in both engineering and business frequently and successfully during my career. Well, certainly the construction of the Jaguars football stadium here in Jacksonville was an important project to us. The Barnett Winston building, the Regency Tower, and some other earlier projects not in Jacksonville, but extremely meaningful to us for clients such as Levi Strauss and Company, PepsiCo and Frito-Lay, some very large engagements in other cities and other states throughout the country were important to the future success of the company, and many of those client relationships we continue to have today. And again, the company as purely a construction management company, but we were always involved at the front end. We were selected at the same time the architect was. We worked with the architect during the pre-construction phases and assumed broad responsibility for the leadership of the project in terms of budget, design, schedule, and similar issues. Over time, we brought engineering and architecture in-house and provided a complete continuum of services, which included design and construction. Now, if PepsiCo comes to us for a bottling plant, we can provide not just the plant, but the fillers and the bottlers and the capping machines, the labeling machines, and then the machines which put the bottles into cases, and then the conveyors which take them out and palletize them and make them ready for shipment.